Hello. Are you a visitor? Let me put some context to that question. On this earth, you are fundamentally a visitor because you're a light being, a super consciousness that's come down into this rather imaginative world it's created for itself. But that's not really what we're asking, because we know you're a visitor in that context. There's another context that's very pertinent, and as you watch this video, I think it's going to make a lot of sense. On Earth, human beings have personalities. They're adopted. These adopted personalities have usually been around for a while. They've normally had numerous human incarnations, and often acting out different relationships with other friends' human personalities. So, for example, in one lifetime, you might have a relationship with a personality where you're being a father and the other personality is a son. In a further relationship, it could be that personality is a mother and you're being a daughter. These things swap around. And these human personalities have been around for thousands of years, doing what they do, which is living here, doing their own thing. However, there's also personalities that have been living on other planets and in other dimensions, experiencing very different worlds to the Earth. Now, around the time of 2012, when this critical mass was appearing of human forms that became far more self-aware and effectively evolved, a lot of visitors from other worlds had been showing up. Obviously, they weren't getting necessarily born in 2012, but they've been born some years previously. And around that time, they were switching on their human forms. They were doing the upgrades. And upgrades started, human forms started doing very different things. So these other personalities, let's call them more alien personalities, had also been around for a long time, but elsewhere. And they were conjoining with some of the more human personalities. So what you get on the one hand is a very human set of previous experiences, and on the other hand, some very alien experiences. This had a slightly destabilizing effect on whatever individuals had that personality makeup. So let's see where you, the light being, have chosen this mix. If you're just a set of very earthly personalities, you'll find you function reasonably well at the earthly level. You'll find you get very absorbed into earthly life, and you won't question things a lot. You'll often be quite obedient, perhaps a little rebellious, but mostly quite obedient, mostly following some very straight, set forward paths. If, on the other hand, you've injected into the lifetime you're living now some more alien aspects, you'll find it fundamentally a little bit difficult to fit in. Now, there'll be various people with different experiences watching this video, so I'm giving a general view. If to work with you one-to-one, we've tied it up precisely. But we have to explain this because a lot of people with these alien elements coming in at this Earth level find there's something a bit disjointed and awkward, and they end up watching a video like this because they need to understand what's going on, and we're explaining it to you. When we have a lot of these alien aspects, in these alien worlds, things are generally done differently. And as a recurring theme, we find the beings there are usually more evolved. It's usually they've evolved to a point in those alien worlds that they thought they'd like a little bit of a holiday, and now they're having a go on Earth. Plus, they came here to help. They came here to form that critical mass, or contribute substantially towards it, that critical mass of people who became self-aware around 2012. So as such, they were never going to fit in too well. They were always going to be a bit different. They were always going to want to do things differently. They would find in the human world, whilst they could often deal with money, they had a bit of a disjointed relationship with it. They'd often find normal human relationships ultimately unfulfilling and didn't really satisfy what they wanted. These beings coming in would find that they knew there was something greater all the time. You couldn't escape it. It was like a sort of burning feeling. And as such, they were very interested in anything around spiritual development. Often they do a lot of meditation. They'd often try a lot of astral projection to begin with, but couldn't get it to work well. Or they would be doing astral projection by accident, but would be not getting much further than bumping around the ceiling of their bedroom. And really, this was down to technical misunderstandings of where they were and what they were carrying. But once they got a bit of training, it all got sorted out. They got very good at it. So ask yourself this question. Do you find in the body you're in, there's this fundamental urge to connect to spiritual higher powers, whatever you want to call it? Do you find in that body and you've been having some trouble fitting in and you always knew there was more, but you couldn't really put a finger on what it was? Is this making sense to you? Do you understand now what's been going on? Yes, you're connected to some human lives. Some people take quite a small package, other people take a large package to ground themselves. You're connected to some of that. But at the same time, do you notice that package of alien existences, however big it is in your particular case, that you're also connected to? Perhaps you've got some alien guides there who are trying to explain some of this to you right now. Are we getting through to you? Do you understand what's going on? There's some further good news to this as well. Because you've been practicing some higher awareness skills elsewhere, you're going to find it surprisingly easy on this earth plane. And that's something fundamental you need to realize. Any difficulty you're having, a technical problems, they can be solved. We are going to get you going. We're going to get you doing the things you want to do. So realize that. Realize that deep down, one of the reasons why you're here, alive on Earth at this time, watching this video, having this interaction, is as part of your personal wake-up call. Is part of how you snapped out of thinking you were a human being. It was part of the program. In many respects, you put a message through this video to yourself. It's almost like go and visit some of your other homes. Go and see some of your other friends, because you're not alone. You've a tremendous amount of friends. You're an amazing entity. And it's wonderful to wake up. So breathe better. Come on, smile. Breathe better. Let your body breathe deeper. Because as you do that, you connect with your friends. And this is what we're up to. This is why we have brought to you some world-class, some world-leading training to switch you on. Because in many respects, you're watching this video right now to be part of that leadership, to be part of that critical mass of human beings who could walk down the street and see what was really happening. Who could see the energies of the world around them, the energies that were driving the world around them. You wanted the human form you're in right now to be part of that critical mass, and that's what you're achieving. That's what you're doing. The simple recognition makes it happen. Okay. Catch you again soon. All right. Bye-bye.